let's move forward and on to the buy now, sell now lens. Let's shift focus to all these holding companies, because some time back we did put the spotlight on all of these companies, and they have been on the tear, fueled by SEBI's delisting proposal. And interestingly, for the first time ever, a holding company, Tata Investment, is now trading at a premium to its value of the stake in the group's listed entity. So let's go again to my colleague Somit Sarkar, who earlier brought all these details about the proposal, and post that we have seen great moves on a couple of counters. So is the overhang on the holding company discount gone? And
well, we cannot exactly say whether it's gone, because it's still a proposal and the final paper is yet to come out. Okay. And yes, as you were saying, that holding companies always almost trade at a discount to their fair value or the net asset value. But Tata Investment becomes the first holding company to now trade at a premium. Now, a couple of days back when we had first checked it, it was at a premium of nearly 15% to its net asset value, or the value of its stake in the listed companies, and currently the premium is at around 6 odd percent. Now, a couple of days back, Tata Investment's market capitalization stood at close to 22,700 crore rupees, while the value of its stake in the listed entities, that stood at close to 19,800 crore rupees. And this chart that you're seeing on screen clearly shows you how usually holding companies trade at a discount. Now, Bengal and Assam was trading at a discount of close to 25 odd percent, while the other holding companies traded at a discount anywhere between 80 to 50 odd percent, and Tata Investment is the only one to trade now at a premium. So the SEBI paper that we were talking about on the voluntary delisting norm, now SEBI had proposed this paper of delisting norms for investment holding companies. Now, the most important part in the paper was the way they are planning to do this delisting. That is not the normal way of delisting where the promoter goes ahead and gives cash to the public shareholder and buys out their shares, but there's a different option here given to the holding companies, and that is that they can now go ahead and give the shares of the companies in which they are actually invested in a proportion in which they own shares. Now, this might sound a bit confusing, so just to simplify here, we have taken the example of RPSG Ventures and Firstsource. Now, RPSG Ventures is the listed holding company of Firstsource, and RPSG Venture has an equity base of close to 2.95 crore equity shares, while it owns close to 37.4 crore shares in Firstsource Solution. Now, if you simply divide 37.4 by 2.95 crore, you will get the ratio in which the holding company can allot shares to its public shareholders in Firstsource in this case. So, RPSG Venture, for one share of equity in RPSG Venture, every shareholder will get around 12.7 crore shares of Firstsource Solution. Now, a couple of days back, RPSG Ventures one share costed you around 635 rupees, and the value of 12 shares of Firstsource at that point was close to 2,000 rupees. Now, the big question here is, will the promoters go ahead and do this? Well, it's a proposal and not a compulsion, and a way out for the promoters to delist the holding company, but there's no compulsion on the promoters that they have to go ahead and do this. So it will be completely dependent on the company, but first SEBI has to come out with the final paper on this. It is currently just a proposal.
Currently just a propossil, but given the fact that it's just in the proposal phase, we've seen what these stocks have done.
Well, in fact, when we had highlighted this in September, back then till now, the stocks are up around 50 to 80%.
50 to 80%.
Tata Investment Corp has run up the most.
Okay, Tata Investment Corp has run up the most, and likely so, and that's the entire gist as to why holding companies are actually seeing the massive set of rally. But then, is this the way how you should go ahead to invest the companies? We had Somit actually give a breakup as well, what the holding companies, and if this proposal goes through, means for the stocks, isn't it? So Somit, with your analysis, and you've been speaking to a lot of analysts, what's their take on this?
Well, they also believe the same, that promoters might not actually go ahead and do this, but this will actually bring down the discount factor that was there earlier between 50 to 80%. This discount could come down for the holding companies because there is this option given to monetize the stake that they have. So that discount portion might come down. Now, promoters would go ahead or not, that's something that we cannot confirmly say. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yes, we'll go ahead and we'll see how that actually proceeds from here on. But then what should you do if you are already invested in a holding company, and if you've not invested, then do you think that this is the right way to invest in the companies? Then let's get on board our experts today. Firstly, thank you so much, Thomas, for putting that into context, and let's bring on board our experts. We have Kunal, Bothra, as well as Ashish Maheshwari joining us on the show. Very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Ashish. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And Ashish, you had Thomas beautifully break up what does this actually mean, and what does an investment in a holding company mean in the other companies that the invested company is holding on to. What's your take? Now, if somebody is already invested in a holding company, do you think this is the right way of investing in these companies to derive the most benefit out of these other companies, group companies that it is invested in?
Yes, and this is the reason why people invest in holding companies, because by buying a stock of Maharashtra scooter, you can buy so many Bajaj companies indirectly. But I think after this discussion paper, which is floated by SEBI, I think this is going to be accepted as it is, because this is a way to provide an exit route for promoters as such, and whatever the complexities are there compared to normal delisting, I think this will ease out process. But $1 million question is, generally these companies are like we Tata Investment or JSW Holdings or Maharashtra Scooter type companies. They are having these holdings as a long-term investment, because this is the way to provide capital to their other companies. So in my view, in haste, these companies, after even this consultation paper will come, they will like to sell these holdings, etc. I don't think so. This is going to happen. Besides this, if we see the list, this very selective list, around 15, 20 such stocks are available, which are holding company nature, and these are all good companies. So, except one or two or three companies where if need is there, then promoter are going to use this option. But I am not very optimistic that even after these changes, promoters are going to exercise this new option.
But like we were discussing onto the buy now sell now lens about all these holding companies, how the move that we have seen in couple of counters there, and what is the likely factor that is driving the move. Let's continue with that discussion, and onto the technical front. Kunal, I would come to you, because we know that most of these people don't take these holding companies as a trading bet, but given the move, any stock that is coming up as a standout one that you would like to suggest to our viewers, any stock that is on your radar?
Yes, of course. I think Tata Investment is something which has done reasonably well. The stock in the last, I think, in a few weeks has risen up higher. Bajaj Holding is the other stock holding company which has done exceptionally well. Then there is Maharashtra Scooter, which I think over the last 6 months or so, I think had done pretty well for itself. Right now, it's going through a phase of consolidation, but I think the stock on the longer term charts looks very attractive. So there are a lot many other stocks from the holding companies which are looking very attractive. Yes, one of the concerns which you highlighted is the volumes or the average volumes compared to the individual stocks within the holding companies. I think the average volume for these stocks is far more lower. But the trends have also been a bit more sturdy for these names. For example, the likes of Bajaj Holdings, etc., Maharashtra Scooter, JSW Holdings, etc. The volatility into these stocks is comparatively lower. I would not say significantly lower, comparatively lower with the other names. I think that's one of the major reasons why I believe that the trends are far more stable over here.
Right. Those are some of the holding company picks coming in from Kunal. Ashish, anything on your radar in particular when it comes to the investment companies that you think that are looking good, one can look to invest in if not already? And if already invested, then what sort of strategy should they adopt?
As far as Tata Investment is concerned, from my side, it is an avoid, because now you are getting at a premium. Why you should buy any holding company at a premium? While the trend is that they are available at 40 to 70% discount. So my first pick here is the Godrej Industry. In my view, looking at the holding of 55,000 crore, they're still available at 27,000 crore market cap, which is 50% discount. So best bet is Godrej Industries, because they are into operate. This is an operating company also, along with holding company. Second stock which I like is JSW Holding. Again, 15,000 crore worth of holding and only 5,600 crore market cap. So a lot upside can be expected here. And third is anyway Maharashtra Scooter with 27,000 crore worth of holding and only 9,000 crore market cap. So we need to buy good quality stock with so much value is embedded in these.